It is a matchup of two of the top 15 teams in the NAIA as the Marian University Knights get ready to battle the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Ascension St. Vincent, committed to providing you with personalized, compassionate care. By Indiana Members Credit Union, proud to support Marian University. Pepsi, grab a Pepsi and get in the game. Ray's Trash Services, proud partner of Marian University. And by AAA Roofing, trust the pros at AAA Roofing. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick, and tonight's Pepsi pregame show is about the Marian Knights and the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Marian University Knights. Jan, this Marian team off to a 4-0 start, coming off of a season where they were 23-5 and made a nice little postseason run before they got bounced in the tournament, but still great start for the Knights so far.
Well, they got a lot of veterans back, and then they added some real nice pieces of being transfers. You and I seen them early in the year, and I'll tell you, they're shooting the ball incredibly well. They're shooting at 48%, I want to say, for three, and high 80s in free throw line, and 50-plus field goal percentage. The bad news is so is Indiana Wesleyan, I guess. So both teams shoot the ball incredibly.
So Marian's ranked 14th in the country, and Indiana Wesleyan is ranked 4th. They have won 5 in a row, and they've also played a few more games than Marian has. So what's that do for their experience playing against one of their big rivals?
Well, it could be something. You know, your comfort zone builds as you play and you win. But let me tell you something. I think Marian's solid enough with their bench and all the things that they have. I'm not sure. Legs could be a little different. Legs could come into play here because this is going to be a hard-fought game.
Also, this is an interesting game in terms of crowd support. I think we're going to see a lot more people in the stands tonight because you and I were talking during the week, whenever Indiana Wesleyan plays Marian in a men's or a women's basketball game, it does so much for the environment in this game.
This rivalry goes back a long time. Now it's kind of peaked and dipped a few times. Trust me, it's way back on the peak meter right now because these are two of the best coaches in all of college basketball. I've known them both. And, of course, Coach Tonicle's won 3 national championships. Give Coach Hetty some time. I guarantee you he's going to hang some banners too.
Yeah, head coach Scott Hetty enters his 5th season on the sidelines. He has 98 career wins, so he is closing in on 100 with Marian. He earned his 100th career win against Thomas More back on November 6th, but he has done a heck of a job with the Knights. We're going to pause for the national anthem. When we come back, starting lineups and tip-off from Marian. You're watching Marian University basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Pep Band. John Grimes Court, Marian University. The Marian Knights trying to stay unbeaten against the fourth-ranked team in the country, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Scott Heddy, as the head coach of Marian in his 5th season, he has made the NAIA tournament in 4 straight years. The starting lineups for both teams. Look at Indiana Wesleyan first. They are in sort of the dark black jerseys on your screen. They go with Noah Smith, Kyle Mangus, Dylan Anderson, Michael Thompson, and Seth Maxwell. And Jan, I think Maxwell is definitely the guy to keep your eye on. One thing that stands out about Indiana Wesleyan is their height, and Maxwell is the embodiment of that at 7 feet tall.
Yeah, and he's had some really big games. He's averaging 20-plus now, and he's had games of 25, 26. So it's going to be interesting to see how Marian defends inside, because not only do they have 7 foot, they have 6'9", 6'7", 6'9". So while Marian has some good size, it will be interesting how they play the big guy inside.
And also just to keep in mind, too, Maxwell's averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds a game. Another guy to keep your eye on for Indiana Wesleyan is Dan Largy, 6'5", 205. He's averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, and shooting 52% from three-point range. And let's take a look at the Marian University starters. It'll be Jacob Wiley, Tyree Johnson, Malik Edmonds, Luke Goman, and Christian Stewart. So down the line, it is senior, sophomore, senior, and senior. Christian Stewart, the leading man for Marian, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's shooting over 50% from 3, but he just does so well creating shots, Jan.
He really does, and he'll need a big game today. I think if he can get Marian off to a really good start, get the crowd involved, that will be a big plus for the Marian Knights.
Looking at, too, you mentioned Greg Tonigal, the head coach of Indiana Wesleyan. What a career. 17th season, 450 wins to 111 losses, and he made the NAIA round of 16 in the tournament last year.
Yeah, well, everyone talks about the 3 national championships, and they should, but he's been in the Elite 8, the Final 4, a lot of times on top of all the 3 national championships. He's had a phenomenal career, and he's to that point now where people want to come and play for him because of a lot of the success he's had.
Marian, the team in white on your screen to the left, and Wesleyan, the team on the right in the black jerseys with the red numbers. One thing, too, Hayden Langcable, Sean Jenkins, Brody Whitaker, Nolan Foster, those are going to be some of the players we see come off the Marian bench, and in a game of this magnitude, depth is probably going to be key. What did those guys bring to the table?
Well, I thought they brought energy. I really thought they attacked the glass really well. Let's not forget this Indiana Wesleyan Ball Club has averaged 90-plus points per game coming into this game. So you know they love to push it as much as they're big inside. So, Marian's no shame at 85. So both these ball clubs, John, can really put some points on the board.
Malik Edmonds will jump it up against Seth Maxwell. Edmonds off to a fantastic start for his sophomore season. 14 points, 6 rebounds, and he is 6 of 10 from 3 when he has elected to shoot it from the outside for a very impressive 60% for the big man. So Indiana Wesleyan wins the tip. We are underway. Offensive rebound was tracked down there. Maxwell goes to work and can't convert. Rebound by Edmonds. Off and running goes Marian on their first possession.
Well, obviously, rebounding in any basketball game is huge, but in a game like this, it will be premium, especially offensive rebounds.
Malik Edmonds knocks down a three from the top of the circle.
This is what I like about Marian, John. They pressure outside, put a lot of pressure on the passing lanes.
Christian Harvey on the break the other way. Edmonds again. This time Maxwell the rebound. Boy, if Edmonds can hit that shot consistently, I mean, talk about stretching the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can start your outside game first and then really open that inside-outside game, and it starts with that outside jumper.
Marian's defense, again, coming up big. Christian Harvey, who was so big on that postseason run they had last year, was controlling, giving to Edmonds. Back to Harvey again with the zip inside. Wiley couldn't quite finish, got his own rebound, lost it, and they say he touched it last. Thought maybe for a second that Michael Thompson might have touched it last, but it was off of Marian.
Well, if I know Coach Hetty, and I've watched him for a long time, he'll attack inside of Indiana Wesleyan. The best thing he can do is to get them in foul trouble early, especially the big guys. So look for Marian to really attack inside, to go after the big guys as much as possible.
Trying to get it to Largy. Maxwell gets it. Now Largy has it. Largy saw an opening and converted.
Nice little step through. Dan Largy.
Largy and Maxwell, the two guys averaging over 20 for this Wesleyan offense. Stewart with the teardrop. Got it.
Boy, what a tough shot. Chris Stewart drops it in, John. Really nice shot.
Local product, went to Roncalli High School. Some new faces for Marian, but also a lot of returners from last year's team. Drilling that. Largy coming right back. So he does it from in close earlier, this time from distance.
Yeah, he's averaging 21. He loves to shoot. He's an excellent shooter from outside.
Johnson goes to work. And Edmonds converts that jumper. He's got 5 of Marian's 7 early on. Strong take, but a miss by Tim Adatakazi. Could not quite finish the layup. Stewart on the drive.
Tough
Edmonds
pass.
had it taken away. Adatakazi with a two-hand flush.
Yeah, just not a good pass. Both these teams will find out in a real hurry. You cannot make soft passes. These teams are way too quick for that.
Stewart. He's going to draw a lot of attention. He's going to see double teams. He's going to see all kinds of different defensive coverages thrown at him, and yet he ends up drawing that foul on Wesleyan.
Well, what you're going to see in a game like this, as you look at both these schedules, who these teams have played, now all of a sudden in a game like this, it's much physical, it's much quicker, so everybody's got to be on their toes early.
Luke Stevens just checked in for Wesleyan. He was the one shadowing Stewart there. Edmonds, against the zone defense, had it tipped out of bounds by Piercefield. It'll stay with Marian.
See, another case in point, there's a cross-court pass. That's just probably not going to be available. You're going to have to do ball rotation all the way outside and around, not that cross-court. Both teams can react so quick in the passing lanes.
Harvey finds Stewart, had an opening for a second, let it go, and Johnson couldn't quite get it. He ends up batting it out of play.
They still got a pretty good look, though. I mean, you give him that shot all day long, just didn't fall for him.
And that takes us to the first media timeout. We're deadlocked at 7. You're watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
All even. 4 minutes into this one between Marian and Indiana Wesleyan, along with Jan Bozer. I'm John Herrick. Thank you for watching the ISC Sports Network. And both these teams, as you can tell from that, exactly even on field goal percentage. Both of them are 3 of 6. Each of them have turned it over twice. And right away, at least, Jan, they seem to be mirror images of each other.
Well, they really are. As we talked about in the opening, both shoot the ball incredibly well. Both are strong inside. Both are incredibly quick. So it's going to be a chess match. And I think your point earlier, the bench will play a huge role in this game.
Piercefield going to work for Wesleyan, trying to give his team the lead. Maxwell. This will be a fun matchup to watch tonight. Maxwell and Edmonds, but that time Maxwell wins it. He was the one who picked up the game's first foul, by the way.
That's a tough shot to block. He is so long, 7 foot with long length. He gets up and gets a jumper. Not much you're going to do about it.
And there is Hayden Langcable, who checked in off the last timeout, number 25 on your screen. Johnson slashes in. Langcable lets it fly. Piercefield the rebound. On the push, out of Takazi, slows it up. For Largy, inside, and Edmonds got beat. Picks up the first Marian foul.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting. We're going to watch this all night long, how you defend a 7-footer. There's all different theories about the best way to do it. A lot of people will play behind. The problem with playing behind the big guy is he's going to get the ball, and if he gets the ball down low like you're going to see right here, there's nothing you can do except foul, and that's exactly what happens. So you either got to double, you got to deny, but I don't think you can play behind the 7-footer. I just don't.
Not sure what they
I think they called the intentional.
Intentional, okay. Yep, they called intentional on Marian. So Maxwell, also a pretty solid free throw shooter, 77%. Wesleyan shoots 80% from the line, although he did not get the second. And Marian shoots 86%.
Well, you can foul hard, but when you go to grab somebody, you're going to get the intentional. It is the right call because he literally, wrapped his arms. That's grabbing. That's the right call.
Shot clock, I guess we have an issue with that. Referees are talking about that for a moment. While they do that, we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast brought to you by BSN. Thank you to BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian Knight Athletics. That is BSN Sports.
Maxwell now sits down for a rest.
What a move there by Dan Largy, and Largy is fouled.
Well, we've been talking about him a lot early, and rightfully so, John. He shoots 52% behind the arc. That's pretty good from three-point line.
That time getting it done on 2-point range.
Nice ball fake. Up and under. That's just textbook basketball. Get them up off their feet.
And this is not the guy you want to put on the line at all if you are Marian. Largy shoots 91%. Goes 100% on that trip.
Iwu now out to a 5-point lead. Marian needs to have an answer here. They do not want Iwu to get off to some big lead.
Marian has not scored in the last nearly 3 minutes of game action. Stewart setting up Langcable. Langcable got it.
That's the way you take it right at him. I love that move.
Third different night in the scoring column.
Yeah, and we talked about that, John, about you need to attack, be aggressive, get into the hoop and get a foul or get the bucket.
Stevens sends it to Piercefield, who unloads a deep one and buries it. Piercefield averages 11 points a game, gets on the board there. Wiley to the rack. Doesn't go. Strong rebound inside by Largy, and that brings that Wesleyan bench to life. 3 left side. Piercefield again. He is feeling it.
Hot, buddy. Wow, IWU on a run here.
In a game where both these teams shoot it well, you have back-to-back made threes. That's one way to get momentum going your way. Stewart, up and under, blocked by Adatakazi. Piercefield moves the other way, trying to give Wesleyan a double-digit lead, and Johnson nearly stole it, but ended up knocking it out of play. Substitutions for both teams being made. Wiley and Johnson are coming out. Brody Whitaker checks in. Luke Goman is in. Also in for Indiana Wesleyan for the first time, Jonathan Panzu. Driving, shooting, missing is Maxwell. Marian on the attack. Harvey loses it, and Panzu comes up with the steal. 3 by Piercefield. Can he get another one? Short. Goman tried to save it. Nice effort, but went out of play. How does Marian get this turned around here, Jan? They look like a little discombobulated.
Well, they got to check out, number one. What they cannot allow here is second and third opportunities for IWU, and they're just going to have to defense their way back in this thing and get some offense off their defense right now. IWU's defense has been pretty solid on the half court, and anytime you play a really good defense, you got to rotate the ball, and you got to do it quickly. Make the defense move.
Largy from the foul line. And Harvey grabs the Marian rebound. Lane Cable trying to create separation. Threw it away. And off the miss, it was Griffin Cleaver, and then a foul on the second try. And that goes to your point, Jan, not being able to box out led to that foul.
If I'm Marian, I'd try to go a little more inside-outside and see if you can get some separation out of the IWU defender guards and get some shots from outside. Right now, Marian's really trying the dribble drive, and we've highlighted it's kind of crowded in there, and the tall trees are in there as well.
Foul on Brody Whitaker, his first, the third on Marian in the first half. He fouls Jonathan Panzu. Panzu's only taken now, these are just his 4th and 5th free throw attempts this season. And he missed them both, so now he's 1 of 5 at the line.
Well, Marian gets a shot here. They escape that free throw shooting. Let's see if they can get a really good shot here, a high ball screen.
Harvey.
Oh, got to hit that.
And that's normally one he does hit. Maxwell the rebound. Marian going on another 3-minute stretch without a point. And Stevens almost had it poked free, got it back, and able to knock it in. Indiana Wesleyan's lead is now double digits for the first time in the game. Harvey had a nice ball fake to get open. Couldn't get that one either. Panzu the rebound. Wildcats pushing. 3 by Stevens. Fight for the rebound. Out of bounds off who? They say it's off Wesleyan. Marian basketball. And we will have it with Marian after this media timeout. Wesleyan leading by 11. You are watching Marian University basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
(20-9), Indiana Wesleyan off to an 11-point lead. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. And earlier you probably heard us say both teams were shooting 50%. Well, that was a long time ago. Marian's now down to 33% and Wesleyan at 47%. But a lot of that has to do with the defense that Wesleyan is playing. Jan, what are they doing to stymie the Knights right now?
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt when you have the size that they do, and they can also play a really good interior defense, and that's what's happened. They're making it really hard for Marian to get a real good look inside. So the way you cure that, obviously, is to get it inside, go inside, outside, and hit some shot. Hit some shots from outside is the best cure to open up the middle. And that being said, it's not always that easy because when you got a defense like Indiana Wesleyan has, hard to get shots.
Goldman gives it to Harvey. Harvey's had a couple of decent looks that he has not been able to get to go in. That time he does. Harvey averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds.
That was a really pretty move. That he really come back through the rim and used the glass. Really nice, really nice.
And a traveling violation called on Dan Largy, which is a break for the Knights. Largy's been a problem. He leads them in scoring right now with 7. 5 different Wesleyan players have scored.
Now, Wesleyan's had a little drought here the last 2 or 3 possessions. See if Marian can find a point here and really get this thing back going again.
Goldman left all alone. Out of bounds, and Edmonds touched it last.
Not a bad look, just at the front of the rim, but no second opportunity. In a game where you have the type of rebounders, John, that you have in this ball game, if a three-pointer is missed, those rebounds really go long sometimes.
And also the guards are going to need to rebound too, because
no doubt.
If it's a long rebound that goes out to the perimeter, they got to be ready.
Well, they do, but you got to be careful because IWU loves to run off the rebounds. So you got to at least get one guard back.
Largy saw an opening, and I think maybe Marian got a little mixed up. They're worrying about Maxwell, that Largy took advantage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what happens, you cannot make a mistake on that switch or Largy will just get 2.
Edmonds gets knocked down. He's going to the line.
You can see right now Coach Hetty's game plan is just to really go after specifically Maxwell. They're really trying to get paint penetration. And, again, that's not a bad look. And there's the foul. Like it that time. Nobody stops ball for IWU that time. And, they really had a great opportunity towards the glass.
Edmonds misfires on that. Edmonds this season, that's his first miss. He was 4 of 4 until that.
Yeah, this is a game where you've got to hit a really high percentage from the free throw line. They will be super critical in this game.
Stevens walks it up. Piercefield working against Stewart. Maxwell forced to pull the fadeaway, does not work. Rebound Harvey. But Knights on the move.
That's a tough shot, though, John. You'll want him to take that shot a lot. While he has the ability to make that, that's not the high percentage shot that underneath is.
They just whistled a foul against Spencer Piercefield. That is his first and the third on Wesleyan. So both teams have committed. There's that hip check foul there on Piercefield.
Now IWU's got to recognize that Marian is really, really forcing towards the rim, and they're not stopping ball. If you don't stop ball as quick as Marian is, you're going to get a lot of fouls, and that's a plus for Marian if you can get a lot of fouls going on IWU.
Harvey 2 of 3 at the line this season.
Oh, my. Got to hit free throws. Got to hit them.
And he left it short.
Yes,
so
he did.
you wonder, is legs could be tired.
Well, this is a tough game. You're going to use a lot more energy in a game like this than you've used in the prior 4.
Quick release by Piercefield. 8 points for him already in this first half.
He did. That was a quick release, wasn't it? He had that up in the air before he ever turned.
Knights trying to set something up offensively. Been hard to come by. And Harvey almost had it knocked away from him and had to pick it up near the line. And I think what he did was he called timeout.
Yep.
Yeah, he was about to step out, and he realized he just needed to make sure that he kept the possession and use a timeout. Don't forget, you can get he was very, very close, but was able to keep it in play and then keep possession. Don't forget, you can get all the up-to-the-minute information on Knights Athletics at MUKnights.com. Be sure to follow them on Twitter at MUKnights. That is at MUKnights. What do you think Coach Scott Heddy's talking about in this huddle, Jan?
Well, I think he's talking about being smart with the basketball. This is not a game which you can do a lot of dribbling. That'll probably cost you a turnover. I really think they're talking about, guys, we have got to really emphasize ball movement, good spacing, ball movement, inside, outside. If it's there, go, attack. But if it's not, kick it out, get good ball reversals. The better Marian can move the basketball, John, that really ups a good shot for them.
Mention how both these teams are shooting it well from the outside this season. Marian, though, struggling tonight. 1 of 5 from downtown. Just 20%, and they're at 36% for the game. Tough shot by Stewart. I think he realized time was winding down and had to let it fly.
Yeah, you just can't play that deep into the shot clock or you're not going to get a shot.
Stewart only has 2 points so far. And Wesleyan takes advantage with a drive by Tim Adetakazi. He averages 10 points, 7 rebounds off the Wesleyan bench. It was not long ago that this Wesleyan team was tied with Marian, and since then they have outscored them 19-5.
Boy, Maxwell's lucky he didn't get the foul, and I think he just did.
And
he reached around, and they didn't catch it.
And that's a big call because that's his second. So the leading scorer for Indiana Wesleyan now has 2 fouls, and he fouled Nolan Foster.
Let's see there's the foul right there, but that's not what they called. They called this one right here. Either one would be a foul. And so let's see if Coach Tonico keeps in the game. So far he is.
He is, with his team up 14. Stewart's been blanketed. He likes to shoot the 3 a lot from the corner, but had no opening.
Marian has got to find a little bit of run. See if they can get this thing under 10 before halftime. Good shot.
One that Marian badly needed to pull them back within a dozen. Piercefield, there's that quick release of his again.
Yeah, but even for him, as quick as he is, I thought that was a little quick. I realize that doesn't sound right because he is so quick, and there's a nice block by Maxwell. But you're right, he has got a quick release, but I felt like even for him, you know, Coach Tonico really likes to get a couple passes, although they all have green lights because they're all such great shooters. Boy, and I'll tell you, Maxwell's lucky he didn't get number 3 because you're okay as long as you swat up. But when you come down with that big arm, you know, you might get that next foul in a hurry.
Johnson on the attack. No. Fight for it, and there's the advantage of being 7 feet tall. Maxwell just pulls it down.
Good ball rotation.
Piercefield loving to shoot. Couldn't get it. Johnson, the Marian rebound. Johnson nearly had it stolen from him. Driving baseline and drawing a blocking foul.
This is huge, John. They gave the block. And Maxwell's going to pick up another one. And I'll tell you why. He was inside of that arc. That's why it was not a charge.
So the gamble by Greg Tonigal to leave Maxwell in the game.
Let's see if he's inside. Yes, he is.
Yeah, his heel's
That's clearly
on
the right. Great call by the official. You cannot take the charge inside that arc there, so it becomes a blocking foul.
Takes us to another timeout on the floor. And while we have a moment, we'll remind you that at Michaelis Corporation, no one answers your prayers or the phone. quicker than Michaelis. So if you need help, be sure to give the folks at Michaelis Corporation a call today. That's 1-844-FIX-INDY, 844-FIX-INDY. Michaelis, construct, renovate, restore. Maybe that is the play, Jan, that starts to turn things around for the Knights.
Well, I think Coach Tonica leaves him in there as long as he wants to or needs to, because he's got a pretty good bench. While in a game like this, you certainly don't want him on the bench. He's comfortable he's got a pretty deep bench, and so he can bring some other players in and play pretty well. But certainly you would prefer Maxwell in the game. But I think that Marian did the right thing. Attack, attack, attack. Ultimately got him in some foul trouble.
Scoring in the game so far, Malik Edmonds leads the way with 5. Lane Cable and Stewart each have 2. Christian Harvey has 3. For Indiana Wesleyan, Spencer Piercefield has 8, but the leading scorer for them is Dan Largy with 9. And Maxwell came in as the leading scorer, has 3 points so far, but bigger problem for him, just got his 3rd foul.
Yeah, that's huge too. Let's see if that can open things up just a little bit more for Marian and they can make a little run here. They're still in good shape. They're still hanging in there, but if they can get this thing 10 or under at halftime, they're exactly where they want to be going into the second half.
So they've made some substitutions. Maximus Gizzy checking in off the bench, graduate from New Pal. Wiley goes to the free throw line. He was the one fouled by Maxwell before that timeout. He is now 7 of 8 at the free throw line this year.
If we hit this free throw here, John, they've got it right at 10. Still plenty of time with 7:47 left on the first half clock. So now Marian's kind of fought back a little bit. Now they're going to have to do it on the defensive side. Really pick up their defense.
They've definitely done that the last few times.
I agree, absolutely. Kind of got them right back in this thing, quite honestly.
Out of Takazi. Gives it up, and he lost it.
Well, that's a turnover now. Now if you're Marian, some things are really starting to go your way. The big guy's out. Iwu makes a turnover. You just scored 2. Let's see if a little run's in store here for the Knights.
Maxwell had just lost it on the baseline. Wiley finds Gizzy. Good defense to force Johnson to give it up.
Iwu does a lot of switching out front.
Wiley, not an easy shot, but got the bounce.
He did. Excellent shot inside. Now Marian, especially with Maxwell on the bench, John, is really getting paid penetration.
6-0 run by the Knights in the last 90 seconds. But the Knights quickly have that ended by Andrew Morrissey, who just checked in off the Indiana Wesleyan bench and knocked that down.
Yeah, and I just talked about Indiana Wesleyan's bench, and that was a really difficult shot, and he really comes off the bench and hits a big one there. Iwu had won a couple possessions without any offense, and he answers the bell there.
Gizzy tries to weave his way inside, missed it, got it back, fight for it. Gizzy comes out of there with it, needs help. Might be tied up. He is, but the possession arrow is with the Knights.
Yep. Gizzy goes in strong, but in college, there's a lot more trees. You see a few trees in high school. In college, you see redwoods everywhere.
And the forest gets a lot more complicated to navigate, doesn't it?
It does. Oh.
Wiley moves, hits the reverse.
And that's what Wiley can do so well. If you can get him just a little bit of room towards the rim, he just has such great body control. And here's a steal, John.
8 points, and he has 3 of 5 shooting. Stewart tries to get it done on the break, cannot get it. Rebounded by Thompson. Wesleyan's led by as many as 14. And Largy couldn't get the roll. Wiley the rebound. Almost threw it away, but Gizzy able to track it down.
really good inside-outside there.
And did he travel?
Sure
yes.
did.
So,
boy, that's a tough one, too, because Marian had an opportunity to get this thing down to 6, had everything that they wanted there and turned the ball over. That's a tough one.
Jonathan Panzu back into the lineup for Wesleyan. So they're 5 on the floor. Piercefield to go along with Lincoln Hale, one of their freshmen who doesn't get a ton of playing time. Now he's out on the floor. Adetakazi, Panzu, and Thompson. The Marian 5, Gizzy, Wiley, Johnson, Stewart, and Foster.
Marian's really did a good job here in the latter part of this first half of pressuring that outside shot.
Panzu got it inside and then had it rejected by Foster. Can the Knights take advantage? Well, Foster was calling for it. They couldn't quite get it to him, but Johnson left all alone. And Panzu digs out the rebound. Panzu on the break. I think he might have been called for traveling here. Yep.
Well, that's a couple turnovers in the last 3 possessions for Indiana Wesleyan, so all of a sudden they're not getting the shots they want. A lot of bench players in right now, but Marian's got to take advantage of that.
If Wesleyan somehow does not win this game, Jan, they're going to look back at this stretch here.
This stretch has not been good, quite honestly, for IWU. As well as they played early, the stretch here, and of course they got a lot of their second and other bench players in, has not been quite as offensively productive.
Wiley lost it, got it back, out to an open lane cable.
Oh, offensive foul.
And it was away from the ball. I think they're going to get Foster for this and wave off the shot.
I did not see it, but the official was right on top of it, and he immediately called. Let's see if we can see it. Comes the pass. Oh, right there it is.
Yep.
Good camera work, man. Clearly showed he really hit him pretty good.
Hale inbounds for the Wildcats.
And you look at last year, Marian was not able to get either game that both these teams played in last year, and so this is one Marian wants.
And remember that it looked like they were going to have to play them maybe in the conference championship game, but then Wesleyan got upset the game before that.
That's exactly right.
So then the Marian got to host the Crossroads League tournament championship game, which they won. Might be trying to work out some sort of substitution and clock thing here before play continues.
Of course, St. Francis expected to do really well in the league this year, too. It was really St. Francis, Indiana Wesleyan, and Marian, whichever order you want to put those 3 in, really kind of voted the top 3.
First poll of the season released on Wednesday. St. Francis took over the #1 ranking in the NAIA. Deep 3 does not go down by Piercefield. They have gone ice cold here lately. Lane Cable. 2-man game with Wiley. Lane Cable gets it back. Drives in, couldn't convert.
And Marian has missed about 3 or 4 of those layups of, wow, what a different game this could be.
And Piercefield, he is not shy about letting it fly, but he can't convert. Wiley the rebound. Sees an opening. Wiley can't convert again.
Well, Wiley's that guy who can just get you some points in stretches there.
Trends that neither one of these teams like, both of them 0 of their last 4. We've been sitting on 28-20 for a while. Make it 0 of 5 for Wesleyan. And then Hale got the rebound and is fouled in the lane. 4th team foul on the Knights.
John, neither team shooting the ball incredibly well. It looks like you're seeing both teams. This has been a pretty up and down game. While the score doesn't quite indicative of the pace has been pretty brutal. And you're starting to see some legs get just a little bit weary here. I think both teams may run their benches maybe a little quicker. We'll see.
Yeah, both coaches have already dipped a lot into their benches. We're seeing that again here. Marian bringing in Sean Jenkins, 6'3", 190-pound junior guard.
Once IWU got that early lead, they have really not been able to build on it. It's been hanging around that 6 to 8 point. He's
stepped out.
Well, Coach Tonico cannot be happy about the turnovers. They've been pretty good with turnovers all year. Well, actually, it's been a little high. They have been averaging around 15, 16 a game, that being IWU, but they're a very fast-paced team. So the faster-paced team you are, the more apt you are to have some turnovers, whereas Marian's only averaged just around 9 per game.
Well, Indiana Wesleyan on pace for that. They just got their 7th turnover, and Edmonds cashes in.
That's huge. Now down to 6. Get a stop here if you're Marian, and you're really exactly where you want to be here with about 2:42 left in this first half.
Remember, they were down 26-14. They are on an 8-2 run. Largy had it knocked free by Jenkins. Tie up. They say a jump ball, but Wesleyan keeps it because they have the arrow. Still, though, what a defensive play by the Knights inside. Piercefield triggers the inbound.
Largy thought he got held. Take a look here. That's a pretty good call. Yeah, I thought he trapped the ball too. Largy didn't think so, but there's the 3. And then Largy comes back and said, listen, if you're not going to call a foul, then I'm going to hit a 3 on you.
And that is the first basket for Indiana Wesleyan in almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, a long time.
But Wiley answers right back.
And now if Wiley can get some more of that, and he's that player, that athletic player that can make plays and shoot from outside, who can match IWU from outside.
We're inside 2 minutes to play.
Really good game, just like we thought it would be.
Largy again.
Wow.
3 3-pointers for him.
Did I mention he shoots 52% from out there?
And tonight, he is 100%. He has hit all 3 of them. 3 of 3. Edmonds.
Oh, really pretty shot. Little half hook, one of my favorite shots in basketball. Almost impossible to block. Really good shot.
That's Edmonds' game. He loves it from there. Maxwell.
He traveled. Well, they got to push first. Of course, you know, IWU without Kyle Magnus, they're all-American, all-everything, who averaged 30-plus points per game for a long time. He's overseas playing pro ball now, but he was one of those one-of-a-kind type players for IWU. You get a player like that, and a lot of other players will feed off of it. I want to shoot like he does, and the confidence just kind of drips from him to other players. And you can really see that with Largy, the way he has so much confidence shooting from outside.
Okay, apparently that last shot by Largy that he made, his toe was on the line, so it was not a 3, it's a 2. Either way, Largy's been the man with the hot hand. Working against Harvey here. Harvey played good defense, and he just made it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that defense. He couldn't play better defense if he wanted to. That's just a fall-away 15-footer.
Harvey on the attack. But big rebound by Foster. He's going to the line.
Well, that's huge, because if Foster can give Marian some more glass second chance opportunities, that could be big. And he's that guy who's got good size and good length who can really help pound the boards. These will be big free throws. See, he just gets inside position. IWU doesn't do a great job of checking him out.
It's on Spencer Piercefield. He just got his 2nd. Or did they call that on Largy? No, that's on Largy. So Largy got his 2nd. So foul trouble starting to be an issue here for both teams a little bit. Edmonds is the only Marian player with 2, but that's a pretty important player to have 2 fouls.
Huge free throws. Huge, Sean.
And Nolan Foster with his first 2 points of the game.
Well, fouls are not to be unexpected in a game like this. These guys play way too physical of a brand of football not to have some fouls. That's just going to, because that's the way both of these teams are coached and the way they play. Oh, excellent intro pass. Perfect bounce pass inside. Nothing prettier than bounce pass.
And Panzu able to knock it down for his first basket. Good answer by IWU. Harvey just has not been able to get on track. Panzu with the block, though Jenkins comes up with it. Jenkins can't get it to fall. Rebound gets popcorned around and out of bounds off of the Knights.
Wow, and the Knights had second and third chances there, but could not cash in.
Don't forget, you can get all the up-to-the-minute information on Knights athletics at MUKnights.com and follow them on Twitter at MUKnights. That is at MUKnights.
30 seconds, John.
Can't believe it's already that close to
It's
the end of
been
that.
an excellent game. Everything I thought it would be. Two just absolutely quality teams, top of the NAIA rankings. You would expect nothing less.
Piercefield on the drive. Lost it, but it was hit out of bounds by Foster last, so it stays with
If I'm Marian,
Wesleyan.
I know where Mr. Largey's at because I'm guessing he's probably going to get this shot with 7 seconds. You know they're going to be watching for him.
Maxwell also in there. He's calling for it. He gets it. Maxwell with 3. Not an easy shot. Missed it. Jenkins tips it to Goman, and that concludes the first half. Wesleyan jumps out to a lead. Marian comes back. They got it to 4 at one point, but it's Indiana Wesleyan leading by 8 at the half. You're watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 1.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
It was a game of runs in that first half. Both these teams were tied at 7 early. Wesleyan makes a big run, and in the blink of an eye, they were up 14. Marian came back, cut it to 4, but then Wesleyan with a late surge right before the half to take an 8-point lead into intermission. As you look at some of the first half highlights, Wesleyan was getting it done on the defensive end there quite a bit, along with Jan Bozer. I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Marian Basketball on the ISC Sports Network. Indiana Wesleyan ranked 4th in the NAIA, Marian 14th. Wesleyan has won 5 in a row. They are 6-1. Marian is 4-0, trying to stay unbeaten, of course, and one guy that's causing some problems there, Spencer Piercefield, who you saw knock down that 3, Jan, but some missed opportunities for Marian. Several missed layups, 3 missed free throws, and just some overall stagnation on offense where they looked a little discombobulated.
Yeah, the run really hurt him. After the run of Indiana Wesleyan, I thought Marian kind of matched them the rest of the way out. There's no one big thing you go, oh, you got to fix this or that. The margin of error in the game like this is so small. Just a couple small things, small free throws, while Marian, I believe, was 5 of 8, only missed 3. Those are huge in a game like this. Layups early was really the one, if you said big factor, that kind of hurt Marian was a lot of missed layups.
And also, you and I were talking about Indiana Wesleyan's height. They have one guy who's 7 feet tall. They have several other guys that are close to that height. how much of a role is that playing in this? Because I feel like height and length are playing a big difference.
Oh, no question about it. Well, points are certainly one thing out of Maxwell. But the other thing you don't really talk about, or it's not a stat, is deflections. All the things that 7 foot plus a wingspan of 70 plus bring to a basketball game. There's a lot of intangibles and all that. So it's not just points or rebounds. It's defense. It's space in the paint. He takes up a lot of room. So when you're trying to drive, there's not much room there with the big fellow in there, no doubt.
Can you do the wingspan, demonstration for me?
Well,
again?
if you wanted to grab my arms, we would probably match one of his. But
that's true. That's true.
His wingspan,
I've heard went this far.
His wingspan, I've heard, is like 79, 80. It's like me and you sitting here together. I know that.
Yeah, it's probably true. I don't know if we could even match that together. Yeah, Seth Maxwell, their leading scorer, only has 3 points, but does have 3 fouls. The big guy that's really hurting Marian right now, though, Jan, is Dan Largy.
Oh, yeah.
16 points. He's knocked down 2 threes, and it just feels like he's having whatever he wants right now.
Well, he averages 21. To get those points that early, that's a little bit of a problem. He's kind of carried IWU in the fact that his outside shooting, his floor leadership. So from a guy who averages 21 a game, who has, what did you say, 15 or 16?
16,
yeah. So that's a quicker pace than he's normally getting. So they're going to have, while it's very difficult because he is so quick, so fast, and such a good shooter, you don't stop a guy like that, but you got to control him.
It is our halftime show brought to you by Hoagies and Hops. Hoagies and Hops, authentic Philly food, just 2 miles from the Marian University campus. Our Hoagies and Hops halftime show will continue when we come back in just a moment. Indiana Wesleyan 37, Marian 29. You're watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights. The halftime highlights brought to you by the M Club. Joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support the student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/M Club. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. Your halftime score, Indiana Wesleyan 37, Marian 29. And part of the reason that Wesleyan is on top, Jan, their defensive play like the ones you just saw right there.
Yeah, they made enough of them to get that early big run and to separate themselves from Marian. And while I thought Marian, for the most part, in the latter half of that first half kind of matched them, the difference was that big run that Wesleyan had early.
Some of the first half overall stats to tell you about. Indiana Wesleyan shot 47% from the field, 33% from 3. They were also 3 of 6 from the free throw line for a total of 50%. Marian, team-wise, 36% from the field, 25% from 3 at 2 of 8, and they were also 5 of 8 from the free throw line for 63%. Rebounding, Indiana Wesleyan with a slight edge. They've out-rebounded Marian 22-18 so far. Wesleyan with 2 more turnovers than Marian. They have 7 to Marian's 5, but here's also a key stat. Jan, you don't always see this stat be so overwhelming, but Wesleyan has 5 blocks. Marian has just 1. So the deflections and the things you talked about that are not in the stat column, but the fact that Wesleyan has 4 more blocks defensively playing a big role.
Yeah, and they come into play because what may have been a made basket turns into a miss because of the block. So if there's 5 shots there that had any shot of going in, you just took 5 shots away, and look what the lead is. But a couple comments on that. You know, Marian's a team that averages 53% from the field. 38, I believe you said, for this game. Here's the big one for me. Marian's a team that shoots 47 behind the arc, and I believe you said they're shooting 25.
Yep.
That's a big, big difference. Got to give IWU a lot of credit defensively.
The last time that Marian led in this game was when it was 7-5 with 17-13 remaining in the first half. So that was their last lead. That was when it was not even 3 minutes into the game. So Marian has just struggled since then, and Wesleyan